think there's a possibility in terms of coordination to be able to pull everything into one agreement and have a certain point of contact and be able to manage issues as they arise with really one phone call to take care of whatever the issue might be. In terms of the product, though, it's still very diverse. Local customs, local operating environments, still very, very different. So to have one product in every single country across the world in one specific form with a certain set of conditions, that's obviously still a long way away. But I think in terms of the coordination and being able to provide the service that if the fleet customer wants to sell or wants to purchase some vehicles in Thailand but isn't sure who to speak to, we provide that benefit of one phone call into us, we'll set everything up, and then a local contact will be made in the country. So I think that's really where we've developed the business, is one point of contact, one agreement, and then it makes it just easier for the fleet manager as he or she develops into parts of the world that perhaps their company hasn't been in before.
Actually, Volvo are probably one of the first brands to have a global fleet department looking after international accounts around 25 years ago. This year we've increased the scale of that department. We've added resource both in Europe and in Asia Pacific to cover both China and emerging markets there. And absolutely, I mean, we have around about 120 international accounts that we operate with, on not always a global basis, certainly on a European basis, but in many cases those agreements will extend to emerging markets as well. So we would plan to further extend that offer and make sure that we've got a strong global relationship, but of course that's going to be supported locally.
So we are expanding the number of countries that are part of our global agreement. I think we are covering now the most important countries in Europe and outside of Europe, and we are learning with our customers how we can run and support global fleet. And I have to say we are not there yet, and our clients are not there yet either. It's very challenging. Sometimes it's challenging to run a fleet centrally in Europe, and if you want to include other continents, it's even more challenging. So what we see is sort of a global approach where you have regional approaches. So we could have a global deal, but there will be a probably slightly different solution for Europe, for South America, for China, and for some other regions. So
we are a global company. We operate in 178 markets, and what we're looking to do, and this is really very much news hot of the press, we're looking to really reinforce that capability. So currently we do respond to global tenders, but going forward we'll be looking to reinforce that capability so we can provide our customers with an even better service when it comes to global tenders and meeting the needs of customers who acquire their vehicles on a global basis.
We have created an alliance global corporate sales office that will answer to all those requests. In that sense, as you know, Infiniti is part of the Alliance Group together with Renault and Nissan. And in that sense, we created this office to answer to all these customers that need a global contract such as that. So in that sense, this office will take care of all that negotiations globally. It will normally be addressed from where the headquarters is based of the company, but then globally will be answered.
We are organized on a regional basis, so therefore we will cover European, and generally speaking, let's say 99% of the time, we are dealing with European acquisition, and many companies are not yet really performing on a global basis because they're not really prepared for that either. There's lots of issues in that in terms of bringing a global deal together. So I think it's more effective that we work on a regional basis, which is why we are working with big multinational companies, like Coca-Cola, for example, and we are presenting our offers to them in a very, I think, and I believe a very interesting manner for them to consider Kia as a product for them for their fleets.
I think we're in a very good position to respond to global fleet demand, because we have a very broad range, which goes from small cars, medium cars, 4x4s, full crossovers, commercial vehicles, sports cars, premium cars. We have a coverage which I would say covers all the world. And also in terms of solutions, we are able to answer especially the big key accounts, not only as Nissan, We also can work on what we call alliance configuration. We would work Nissan, Infiniti, Renault, and the other brands of Renault, and we are able to answer. The key point in reality is what the customer needs. Of course, it's the range, it's the coverage, and last but not least, it's the service.
Today we have a dedicated structure at the corporate sales division with 8 international key account managers who can receive all the proposals of the tender from the fleet customer. To that we have also an alliance with Nissan which allows us to respond to a global tender for our fleet customer. But also we have more than 500 key account managers in all around the world.